what's up, you guys? Today I wanted to go through a pretty in-depth review of the Saints and Sinners palette by Kat Von D. I am always just so drawn to her palettes. They are gorgeous the way that she designs them. I picked this up during the VIB Rouge sale at Sephora. If you open it up, it looks like this. It's just so cool. I really tried not to buy it for a really long time. And what was really the selling point for me for this palette was I just touched it in the store. And I cannot believe the quality, especially on the one that was the tester palette. Like, those are usually disgusting, like, or dried out just because they've been like open and touched so many times. This palette, the swatches that I had from this palette were absolutely unbelievable. I haven't actually tried it on my eyes at all, so that's what we're gonna do today. I think I'm gonna go through like 3 looks, fingers crossed Thomas doesn't wake up. One using just the Saints, one using just the Sinners, and then we'll mix the two together. It is a little bit of an intimidating palette when you look at it because of all the crazy colors. The Saint side obviously is toned down a little bit, which makes it a little bit more approachable, but I mean, the Sinners side has like fun pops of color that I think you could easily use to make a cohesive look. I felt like this palette needed a little bit of love. Like, I haven't heard anyone really talking about it, and when I touched it in the store and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe the quality of these eyeshadows, I thought I would try to give it a little shout out and see if there really is a reason why it's not getting the hype that it's getting or what. So if you're interested in finding out like my thoughts after my experimentation, stick around to the end of this video, guys. Alright, let's jump into it. Excuse my crusty lips. Okay, so let's start with the Saint side. I don't have a plan at all. But the color, so I went to Sacred Heart School, Hampton, New Hampshire, kindergarten through 8th grade. So the color Sacred Heart is obviously calling to me, and it's a pretty little pinky transition shade. I'm gonna try to use the mirror too to see if it's actually usable. Alright, so we're gonna put that right in the crease. It's a really pretty color. Alright, you know what, I'm gonna make this a halo eye. So I'm just gonna take, basically I created like a smoky eye by bringing it down to my lash line here and creating like an outer V. Now we're gonna create like an inner V. This isn't the brush to be using for that, but I live on the edge. My brushes are also dirty still from Halloween. You can use so many like crazy colors. Usually you can get away with like, this is disgusting, but usually you can get away with like not having to wash your brushes when you're just doing your own makeup. If you're doing someone else's makeup, please make sure you do wash your brushes. But you know what I mean, like if you're just using like neutral colors every day, you don't have to worry about like randomly having like a green brush on your nice like transition shade. So we're just gonna deepen that outer V, and I think I'm gonna leave like a pinky's amount of space on the center of the lid. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush, try to clean it off a little bit. And dipping into Rosary again, I'm gonna go into the center, the inner corner. Just kind of deepen that up a little bit. I haven't done a halo eye in months. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with the first brush and dip into Sacred Heart a little bit. Just swipe back and forth. So I'm using like patting motions to put down the majority of the color where I want it, and then I kind of swipe. So like pat, 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 and then you swipe a little bit to blend it out. The other day I realized that this eye is a totally different shape. Totally different. It's like, it's pretty much the reason why I've always had trouble doing eyeliner. this lid just has more like bags in it. So I mean, that's one of the big things with makeup, especially doing your own makeup. Like it just takes time to learn your face, and once you do, it just improves your technique, and then you can also have a greater ability to see that in other people, like when you're working on clients or whatever. Not that I work on clients very often. I've done like one wedding, and then I just do my sister's makeup and she orders me to. Okay, and now I'm gonna go into Immaculate. So with this, I'm really just using patting motions because we're going in with such a contrasting color. It could get very muddy very quickly. So you don't really want the color to go anywhere besides where you're putting it. Now I'm gonna go back in with Rosary. Just kind of tap over that a little bit. Now I'm going to take Immaculate and just deepen right here. See, really the only place I want it. See, like when I'm applying a shadow to this eye, it has a tendency to want to like follow my arch downward. But I want to lift my eye. Like this one has a much easier time listening to instructions. Just got makeup all over my face. One moment. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with my finger and go into Baptism. It's like a really pretty, almost white pink. And I'm gonna go in with my finger and just dab that in that area that we left uncovered. And then going in the brush, maybe a little bit of Sacred Heart. You almost want like nothing on your brush. Blend that out a little bit. I don't love that shade. I don't love that color, honestly. Not like the color on my eye, like it just looks like a white, but like that's the only shade that I've encountered so far that has like a little bit of a chalky consistency. I've used that as basically like a base. I'm gonna apply some glitter glue. I'm gonna go into Absolution with my finger. Just pack that on. I'm gonna go back into Rosary, the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna dip into Worship, which is like the purpley shade, and just run that along the lash line. And then I'm gonna dip into Chalice with my finger. Bring that on the bottom of my inner corner. Now I'm gonna pop on some mascara and we'll check out the finished look. This is the final look. So I just popped Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Lovesick. It's really pretty. I honestly don't even think I've ever worn it before, but I think it goes well. Alright, so I redid my concealer and I reprimed my eyelids, so we're ready to go. So we're gonna delve into the Sinner side of the palette. When I think Sinner, I kind of think like rule breaker. So I think I'm gonna like break some color rules right now. Okay, so we're gonna start by diving into Devil, which is just the orangey shade. This is gonna be really orange. That shade has a little bit of like kickback. It doesn't really bother me, except that everything is so like close together in this palette that it kind of gets into the other pans. Like on another palette that wouldn't bother me. So I'm gonna use this as like a transition shade. I'm gonna take that deep into my eye socket, inner eye socket. And work slowly to like build up the color. We're gonna go for a cut crease on this eye, so really want very dark, deep colors. So now we're gonna go into Rapture, which is just this really, really dark black. And again, I want to like hold on to that orange color So I'm really just tapping this in the spots that I want it darker, which is really just like the outer V and then across the crease. Now we're gonna cut the crease. I'm gonna use Front Shape Tape and Fair. I'm only gonna do half a cut crease. And right when you get like right above your pupil is when you want to stop. So now I'm gonna dive into Revelation. And I'm gonna use my finger and pat that, kind of leaving the center untouched. I look like I have an Irish flag in my eye. I'm gonna put vestment in between here. Okay, I don't like how that color is like holding its pigmentation. Like I put it down and it's a pretty color and then I try to blend it and then like it loses its like aquamarine-ishness and becomes more of like a brown. I guess it is like a duochrome. It looks like a duochrome shade. That's not what I wanted. Alright, I mean that's cool. I'm not mad at it. Now I'm gonna dip into Martyr and run that along the lower lash line. I'm gonna dip back into Devil. Alright, now I'm gonna take my pinky and dip into Relic. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble reading these. Yeah, I'm gonna pop that right on my inner corner. I'm gonna take this Mehron mixing liquid. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna dip this angled brush in here. I don't wanna destroy this palette, but I'm gonna dip into Exorcism. Yep, that worked. So I'm also wearing the Everlasting Glitter Veil, like in Rocker. It's by Kat Von D. It's honestly a little thin, so you have to apply more than one layer. But it's gorgeous. It's honestly giving me vibes of the Pat McGrath Lust kits. So this is the finished look. I'm starting to look pretty rough. Okay, so I reapplied concealer, eye primer. I took off that lipstick. It really stained my lips. So for this last look, we're just gonna do something that's like an everyday look because the other two looks were kind of crazy. But I'm gonna be using both sides of the palette. So I'm gonna take Ashes on my finger and apply that all over. That's from the center side of the palette. It's so pretty. It's like a taupey grayish color, and it has like these teal-ish glitter specks in it that don't really show up. This is still pretty. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna dip into Crucifix on the Heavenly side. I decided to just stop talking here, but now I'm running Crucifix along my lower lash line. Okay, then I'm gonna take some matte white, pop that in my Okay, then I'm gonna take Sabbath and make like a smoky wing. I'm just gonna use black. 'Cause what? Alright, this is the final look. Alright guys, so some things you might want to know about the palette. It retails for $62 at Sephora. There are 24 shades in this palette, 12 Saint, 12 Center. There's a good variety of mattes, shimmers, and then there's 2 glitter pigments up at the top. I mean, her shimmers are just unreal. Like, the shimmer shades in this palette are like the most buttery consistency I've ever felt in an eyeshadow. Overall, after playing with them, I mean, this is an amazing palette, and I think it's awesome because it gives you like neutral colors, but then also those pops that you might want eventually. I don't know. I love to experiment and play with makeup, and even if you aren't that adventurous, I feel like every once in a while it's fun to do something different. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't be afraid to hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, the_momlook. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.